What's up, guys? So right before the match starts, this is a post commentary of the gameplay, but yeah, I'll just be able to kind of talk through kind of how I played this. So first thing I'm looking at when I get into this map is trying to see what's nearby, right? Like how many players do I have nearby? Are there any nearby Caesar's guards that I can take right away, especially some that are in between me and other players, because I want to go for those first. And then the other ones that are safer and easier for me to get without anybody being able to get there before me, I'll get those next. So yeah, just kind of scouting around, seeing like, okay, I don't see a lot of like TC30s or other really strong players near me, which is good, but also kind of doesn't really matter, right? Because it's not like we're ever going to hit each other's cities directly. So yeah, here's just kind of cycling through. We have lots of options here. Technically, the level 1 and level 2s are both really easy to kill, and they'll both still give the same points, but yeah, just kind of going through these skills. This is also in the guide as well, so I don't want to spend too much talking about it. Mostly I want to go over like the more detailed stuff, but the level 1 and level 2s both will give the same XP when you pop them with the skill, so it doesn't matter which one you kill. But in the very beginning, you know, if you're not able to kill the level 2s yet, then obviously that might be a problem. But yeah, generally it gets to a point pretty early on where you can kill both and it's fine. So yeah, right now I'm kind of just eyeing that this guy right to the northwest of me. We have that one guard between us, so that'll be an interesting one to take. Try to go for that one right away. And then these other ones like off to the side, I can maybe go for those a little later, and that would be fine. Yeah, also like same thing with like the guards and the mines. Like level 1 and level 2 mines both will give you the skill that you need when you go in every 1 minute. But yeah, obviously if you're not strong enough to capture a level 2 mine, then you'll have to specifically go for the level 1 mine. So some of the execution becomes easier once you just hit that threshold to beat the level 2 guards and mines. But anyways, let's get right into it. So this is going to be pretty fast, but as I mentioned, right, I'm going to go straight for this guard, like no questions asked, and then I can go for these other ones. And you can see he also tried going for it, right? But I believe I should just barely beat him to the punch because I had targeted it first. So yeah, now at this point that I've got all 6 March slots out, which kind of helps, by the way, right? I'm immediately trying to get these skills off because the sooner I actually click the skill, the sooner I'll start to get the extra points from it, right? So yeah, immediately got that skill. Now this is a part where we're just really spam clicking through this icon to find new guards, and if I see somebody else is already there, I'm not even gonna really take that chance, right? Unless they could be really far away. But at the same time, even though I don't have the skill yet to get the points from popping a mine every minute, I still want to pop the mine so that I can start collecting the loot crates, right? Because we only get 1 March to do the loot crates, and there's a limited number of these loot crates available. So I'm trying to pick up as many of these as I can all game long. So I'm trying to use that loot crate March all game long. So yeah, I'm gonna go for this one next. And again, like I know I don't have the skill. I'm literally just trying to pop loot crates that I can pick up. And while this is happening, still tapping that button, trying to find more guards that I can hit uncontested. Yeah, so I popped this one a little early because I still had other loot crates to grab, but it's fine. Yeah, probably somebody's gonna steal some of those, but it's alright. As long as I'm using my loot march at all times, I'm making bank, right? So yeah, just gonna try to keep that loot march going as much as I can. Obviously the execution is harder as you have more marches, right? Like 6 marches, but it's also more rewarding if you're actually able to get all 6 marches out. So yeah, you can see just trying to back-to-back keep that loot march going. And I finally just got enough XP to pop the skill every 1 minute. So of course, immediate thing I want to do is trigger it. So just waiting for a march slot, and if I'm gonna, wait for a march slot anyways, I might as well, you guessed it, go find one to pop more loot crates. So yeah, just waiting for this one to come in a second. All right, here we go. Just trying to pop that. Yeah, at this point, as the guards get farther away, it actually gets a little bit easier to execute just because your troops are marching for longer, which means that you have more time. Yeah, I was just calculating march distance. Sometimes that's a little bit sweaty, but anyways, yeah, it's because it's a 1 minute pop. I don't want to sit in the mine, right? My troops will make me more points hunting guards and not sitting in mines. So as soon as he popped the 1 minute thing, I'm immediately pulling out, trying to get more value elsewhere. and I'm keeping those loot crates going all game. So at this point, I'm seeing like, okay, there's a lot of people here, and the guards are getting really like hard to come by. It's fine, but this might be the time to move. See if I can maybe grab this loot crate real quick. Maybe there's more guards. Yeah, this is way too busy, right? So I'm not really getting a whole lot right now. As you can see, I don't even have my March slots going. These are wasted points. There's so many loot crates around here, though. So juicy, but yeah, no, there's no points happening. So this is a time where you want to say, hey, I have a free teleport, I should use it. So let's just go here. There's a lot of juicy loot crates here. We'll start getting loot crates, and then we'll start going for some of these guards that have nobody going towards them. You get free teleports like every, like 6 or 7 minutes or so. You have to take advantage of that and keep going where there's no action so you can get all the action. So immediately I'm already getting paid off for that teleport. So many uncontested guards here that I can just take, right? Keeping all my March slots going again. Yeah, here we go. Just trying to pop the 1 minute thing because it is every 1 minute. I probably could have gotten another one in, to be honest, but I spent a little bit of time trying to find where I wanted to teleport. But it's gonna be fine, right? So I still popped it. Still trying to make sure I keep the every 1 minute on cooldown, and also keeping the loot marches going. You have to keep those loot marches going because you get a lot of points from that, right? Those free loot pickups all the time. Yeah, and then just keep cycling through, trying to find more and more to hit. Especially the ones that aren't contested. If there are other people going, you can do it, but you just have to check like how much time it will take them to get there. And if you know your march time, maybe, but it usually takes like a couple seconds to think about. And this event is all about speed, so the easiest way to do it is just to say, okay, there's nobody else going for it, I'll give it a shot. If there's somebody else going for it, I'll try another one. So yeah, just trying to keep the loot marches going. One trick that I like to do to remember that I can pop the mines every 1 minute is to look at the time that I popped it, right? You have the timer at the top underneath your score, and then say, okay, 1 minute after that is when I need to pop it again, right? So that can usually help a lot with remembering, like, okay, I popped it at 22, 30, for example. I don't think I actually did, but just for the sake of example. The next one I want to pop it at is at 21:30. So yeah, I mean, at this point, the gameplay loop, it's pretty straightforward to watch, but obviously in practice, it's a little bit hard to execute. And you can see I'm not already at the top, right? Like, not only is it because I had like a little bit of dead time somewhere in there, but there's like variable marching distances, and then some people are just like getting really, really crazy with like keeping their loot crate uptime a lot higher than me. But in the full battle length, like, right, if you're staying consistent and using all your march slots and trying to pop the skill every 1 minute, then you will overcome some of these like short gaps here and there. Like, you don't have to play perfect. Like, I'm not playing perfectly, right? Like, I'm just now sending out like the 1 minute to recapture thing, right? So I mean, it's not always going to be perfect. So yeah, the other thing that's worth keeping in mind is, okay, here we go, fractured veins. That's exactly what I was going to talk about, fractured veins. Because when you see this happen, right, so it's going to come in 50 seconds, right? So immediately I'm thinking, can I go do this hit in time and be back, right? So that one, for example, is 26 seconds. I know my troops can be back in time. But at this point, I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, it's going to be here in like 40 seconds. I can't go and be back in time. And it's more important to have your marches home at this time, because as soon as the fractured veins open, you want to be collecting as many of those as possible. Yeah, a couple of my march slots are empty and dead now, but I would rather they be empty because it's an opportunity cost. So I'm intentionally like not sending anything out because I need all marches for this. Right? Fractured veins are going to be where we get most of our points, like big points. So I'm already seeing, I'm just going to pop this really quick, I might as well. Even when we're doing fractured veins, you still want to do the pop every 1 minute because that is still making a lot. But otherwise, yeah, just immediately trying to go for as many of these as possible. I already popped, need to get back so we can collect more fractured veins. Now, I could have actually done this a little better. Like, so technically I should be going for the farther veins first, right? And then because these ones near me are secure. Like, nobody's going to take them before me. So I could have saved them for a little bit later and then tried to secure as many farther ones as possible, right? But I mean, it's fine. As long as your marches are out doing something, you're making points, you're laughing all the way to the bank. So yeah, got all those marches out, and even though like okay, it looks like there's nothing to do, there is always something to do, right? I'm constantly looking around, saying, okay, where's like a good spot to teleport? Where are people not picking up veins near them? Is it worth teleporting? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I still have like a minute and 30 on it, right? But you never know. And yeah, just trying to find out where would be the next veins to take once the March slots do come home. So okay, here's like a lot of nice cluster over there. That's worth looking at. Yeah, sometimes you'll get lucky where, and this is, well, part luck, but also part intent, right? I came to this location because there were less players here, so it makes it much more reliable to actually grab more fractured veins. And sometimes you'll get lucky in where you spawn doesn't have as many players, and you don't even have to teleport until much later. But you know, if you do have a lot of players nearby, you have to take advantage of the free teleport here, right? Like, I mean, it's there for this reason. So yeah, somebody's attacking me. I'm not really worried about this. They can even take it for all I care. Okay, I guess they didn't. Because how the fractured veins work is they harvest so fast that by the time the march hits you, like you've already harvested most of what's in there. So it's fine. So yeah, just kind of chilling a little bit, but also trying to keep an eye on like which fractured veins are coming up. Just trying to grab it. Like this is a priority for March slots right now. I really should grab and do the reset though, but some of these are just so juicy. Oh, the reason why it can be tempting to go for these, especially near the end after there's already been 3 rounds, you'll see that they'll start to disappear. Like they'll despawn if nobody starts harvesting them. So when they despawn, like obviously that's just lost points. But yeah, I really should pop this. Yeah, and then I can go back to collecting these other ones near me. So yeah, in this case, I played it a little bit better because I actually saved these couple of the veins near me so I could go for the farther ones, which secures me more veins overall. But I think we're about out of fractured veins now, so we're kind of getting to that point where we need to go back to farming Caesar's guards. It'll be a few more minutes before... Oh, here we go. We still have some more here. We'll see if we actually get to them in time before they despawn. If you are already harvesting them, they won't despawn, but if they're not being harvested before like the timer runs out, they'll just all despawn, which is sad, but it is what it is. So yeah, let me see if I can get these before they despawn. I do have a free teleport, and I was thinking if I should teleport. Okay, somebody's already going to that one. Yeah, I'll try it anyways, right? I don't know, are they strong? Maybe I'll beat them. Yeah, if you get there right after them, you can still get most of the veins. But yeah, even though I have a free teleport, I don't think I want to use it right now because I want to save it for like another time when I'm in a bad position, right? Like we were earlier. Right now, I'm not in a bad. I'm in a pretty good position. Okay, I guess that's not happening. That's fine. Yeah, right now I'm in a pretty good position where I have plenty of stuff nearby. I still have uncontested Caesar's guards. So one thing which I should be doing though is collecting more loot crates. I kind of did slack on that a little bit. Yeah, you know what? There's a bunch of veins over here. Ah, okay, I should have. I really was thinking like, okay, maybe I can actually grab these before they despawn, and then I barely didn't. So that's actually a really bad teleport because now I won't have it for like 6 more minutes, but it's fine, right? As I said, you don't have to play perfectly. It's gonna be fine. The other nice thing about this is that there's not too many players here either, and there's some good pickups, right? I can pop a lot of mines which haven't been popped yet, and get back into the the consistent grind of picking up loot crates, because it is hard to do that like at the same time as doing all the veins and everything. But the more of this that you can multitask, like the more points you can make. Like this is by far not perfect gameplay. I know the overall strategy is shared a lot. Okay, so we're already climbing, pretty nice. I bet we can climb higher though. As long as, especially because if we're really good on those fractured veins, I'm sure we can climb higher. The strategy can be hard to execute though. I know that a lot of other videos can show like 300, 350,000, maybe 375,000, but we can, with really pristine execution, you can get upwards of 450, 500,000. So like the last couple of times I got 450,000 plus, and pretty sure we'll get it again here. But yeah, otherwise, just on top of that 1 minute reset, I think that's another thing where like, the more of those you do, like each one of those is an extra like 5,000 points, right? Like even just doing like an extra like 3 or 4 more of those, like in your gameplay through sharper timings, will help you get like an extra like 20,000 or more points. And yeah, these loot pickups. So that's why whenever I'm looking to do the 1 minute pops, if possible, I do try to go for the 1-minute pops on mines which have never been attacked yet, so that I can drop the loot crates. So yeah, just kind of scouting around. Most of them in my area have already been popped, which is fine. But if there's any, oh, here we go. There's some loot crates. Right. Don't mind if I do. But if there's any that which are not popped, those are definitely the priority you want to pop, just to keep your loot crate queue going. Yeah, one thing which I wish they did was got rid of that confirmation prop that you need to send your first march for attacks and for loot crates. But at least if you do the skip in the beginning, it's only really a thorn in your side the first time, and then it's fine. Yeah, just constantly using this like this search desires button is just a dot. Oh, here we go. There's a lot of loot crates here. Okay, okay. Don't mind if I do, huh? All my marchers are taken. I guess I just. I mean, it's a good problem to have when all your marchers are taken. When all your marchers are taken, you might as well just start scouting around, trying to find your next target. So let's do just like this. Instead of waiting until my march is free and then searching for a target, searching for the target so that as soon as the march is free, it's dispatched to go, right? Really maximize your uptime. And that's where like there's a lot of like screen dragging and scouting and trying to find what's happening next. And yeah, there's not too many strong plays here, not too worried about. So here's another example, right? Just trying to be really proactive with having these marches out as soon as the other march gets home. But looking that I'm going to have the loot crate return first, just looking at those timers, I actually want to come back and send the loot crate first and then come back and make sure I'm ready to send the marches out, right? So it's always about being proactive in this situation where, okay, I have time, I know how much time is left on each of my marches, let's try to have their next target ready as soon as possible. Because every second that your march slot is not used, there's points not being made. Okay, so we're still third, still pretty solid. I know that we're only at like 228,000, but there's still another round of Fractured Veins to be had, and we're going to make a lot of points then as well. So it's okay, he's got like 30, oh, I can definitely beat that, yeah. That's a situation where it's like, I mean, can I beat them? Maybe? Might as well check, right? But I know that, yeah, that took a couple of seconds as you saw, so it's no fun. It's no worries if you can't do that, and if you just prefer to just go for one which is not contested and just keep it simple. Yeah. Let's see. Here's another one. Okay, yeah, already going for that one. I wish this thing would not show targets that you're already going for, but it is what it is. Yeah, I would have wanted to pop one that wasn't popped yet, you know, for the 1 minute thing to get more loot crates. But I also wanted to make sure I triggered it, and that one's really close, so it really minimized the march time that I'm spending going back and forth between mines to go for it every 1 minute. So you can see I'm not really trying to sit in mines, especially not these level 1 mines, right? The level 1 mines just are their pocket change for actual income. Here we go. I might as well maybe pop one of these. Okay, there's a lot over here to pop. I'll just pop this one. Yeah, so ideally I want to pop them, and especially because the 1 minute thing triggers when you get there, not when you dispatch, right? So like, let's say, you know, you notice that you just triggered it and then you have another, let's say 30 seconds pass. So you have 30 more seconds before you can trigger it again. You don't have to wait those 30 seconds and then send your march out. You can immediately start looking for a target 30 seconds away and then dispatch. Where as soon as the 1 minute hits, then you collect it, and you can start collecting loot crates as well. So it takes a little bit of, you know, quick math to calculate, you know, like how many seconds do I have, looking at the march time. Okay, yeah, let me do this, and then I'll pop it right on time. And it's fine. Okay, yeah, the Fractured Veins are coming in, so kind of similar to before, right? I don't want to send out more marches. I want to make sure all of my marches are at home before the Fractured Veins appear, so that as soon as they appear, I'll be able to send out marches for as many as possible. So you can see this is a pretty fast event. So speed is important, and those extra, even just 5 or 6 seconds, can make a big difference with how quickly these harvest. So let's see, I gotta recall this. Okay, we have a bunch up here in the northwest, it's fine. I'd like to go for these farther ones first, so just go for this one right away. And then these closer ones, and then this even closer one. And then, okay, here's another one, we'll grab that. We have a couple more over here, that's pretty good. And then I did just do the 1 minute mine thing, so I have some time before I have to do it again. But I don't remember the exact time, so I'm just gonna send one out to be safe. And if you're not sure, like, just send one out, right? Like, it doesn't take that much time. And watch the copper at the top. If it jumps by 5k, it means you triggered it. If it didn't, it means you didn't trigger it, right? So that's a pretty good timer, like a test to say like, okay, is this ability active? Like, can I pop it? Just try it, right? Like it takes like a few seconds. But that's where it really helps to keep track. Okay, we're climbing already. It's pretty nice. But yeah, that's where it really helps to keep track of like the time which you popped it last. Um, yeah. So okay, there's not too many veins near me, but there's a lot opening up over there. I'm wondering if I should teleport. As you can see, we have another free teleport. So I'm kind of thinking, oh well, there's more opening up here. This is fine. I'll just collect these then. Yeah, there's enough here to keep all my marches busy. But you always want to be thinking about that, right? It's like, can I use all my marches on Fractured Veins right now? If not, where can I teleport where I can? Right? Because Fractured Veins are so big. Let me just pop this really quick, the 1 minute mine. Fractured Veins are so big that you want to be using all your marches on it all the time for maximum points. It's worth way more than just like sitting in a regular mine, right? Yeah, just try to leave these closer ones for myself. Oh, I should try to secure this before somebody else does, since that one's a little bit further away. And I have this one right next to me that I'm just saving for later, right? Keeping it in my pocket. It'll always be there. I can take it anytime. The goal is not to take as many as I can in 30 seconds. The goal is to try to take as many as I can in 3 minutes, right? Which means trying to take all the farther ones and work my way in towards the ones that are near me, which I know that I can take anytime before anybody else even tries. Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of being a little bit greedy, you could say, going for these little bit farther ones, but the more you secure, the more you make, right? Yeah, I really should set one march out to do the minute reset, though. Yeah, let me just do that really quickly. And yeah, I still have these 3 near me that I can take once I have some time. Okay, there we go. We'll pull them back, send them to one of these. Oh, but you know what? I don't think it triggered the thing. Let me just send another march really quick. That's another neat trick as well, is like you don't have to wait for the march to return. If you have a march out, you can send another one right away. Okay, yeah. Now we can go back to collecting Fractured Veins. I have a good number near me. I probably should collect these, but I just want to go for these ones that are still a little bit farther to kind of greed out. Yeah, let's just grab this. Yeah, you can see like Caesarius cards are kind of in the back pocket as well, right? We don't need those. Yeah, let me just go ahead and secure these before they actually expire and before somebody else actually gets bold enough to try to pick them. A lot. Okay, the middle is opening, and this is my favorite part, is when the middle opens, because everybody tries to go take the middle, and when they take the middle, they're missing out on these Fractured Veins, which are still here. In fact, I want to teleport here, but I want to finish gathering the veins that I'm gathering, because they still have a few seconds on them. Yeah, I want to grab these before they teleport, before they disappear, right? So I'm just going to teleport for free here, and try to grab some more of these before they despawn. That one's already being gathered, it's fine. Because these will despawn, but once you're in them, they won't despawn. If you grab this one before it despawns. It's getting kind of close. Somebody else is already... maybe I can make... I don't know, we'll see. If I don't get it, it's fine. And yeah, very nice. We can get some loot here as well. The 1 minute reset. Okay, here we go. There's an... Oh, okay, yep, they despawn. But as you can see, the ones that I'm harvesting did not despawn, right? So I think that was a pretty good free use of the free teleport there, because it let me get like at least like 4 or 5 more Fractured Veins, which is a lot of points. Yeah, now we have also the advantage of more mines that we can pop for loot crates. So here we go. There's another one. Let's get our loot queue going at all times. And back to the classic of hunting Caesarius. And at this point, it actually gets easier because everybody else is spending so much time trying to take the middle. And most of them are, you know, it's futile, right? Because the super whales are going to keep them off it forever. Which means there's less people near us to, you know, pop mines, pick up loot crates, pick up guards. So it'll become way easier for us to, and you see we're climbing pretty well, almost first there. It'll be way easier for us to just continue just taking stuff without even worrying if other people are going to get there before us, because they're not here, they're not paying attention, right? They're all obsessed on the middle. And the middle is not like a total bait, I would say. If you can capture it even for like a second, you will get a lot of points. But the problem is, can you capture it even for a second, right? Like, you'd have to be there right when it opens. You'd have to use a bunch of, like, try to speed up to touch it really quickly. And if you don't, then you would have just wasted your teleport and your speed ups. It's not reliable. It's not consistent, right? But this is consistent. So even if we don't get like first place because somebody else controlled the middle, we'll definitely still rank very high with consistently high points, right? So this is why in the previous match, the last 2 matches before this, 450k, 460k, right? And we're already like looking really good right now at 400k. So yeah, I mean the middle can be good if you're really fast, or if you're in a whale and you can actually hold it, then of course. But even if you can actually hold it, you still have like 5 more March slots, right? I'm assuming that somebody who can hold it will have all 6 March slots. I think that's a safe assumption. So you still want to use all 6 March slots. So the basics here are still very valuable. Yeah, just you can see constantly trying to keep that loot queue going, constantly trying to keep the Caesar's queues going. It's definitely easier to explain the game like after playing instead of while playing it, because it's pretty fast while playing it. Yeah. So there's only a few minutes left now, and once we get to like there being a few minutes left, then you actually have to start calculating like march distances a little bit, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, I already know I can maybe do like 2 or 3 more 1-minute resets, and I don't want to miss out on actually getting them. So if I know the march distance to trigger it, then I have to make sure I account for that. And the same is true for Caesar's guards. Like, there's no point setting out a march that's not going to hit a Caesar's guard before the game ends. And actually, for this, we still have 3 minutes. Yeah, that's still 34 seconds. We're fine. Let's just keep these loot queues going. Okay, that loot queue's I probably won't be able to pick up all of those, but we'll pick up as many as we can. Trigger this really quick. Okay, we still have like quite a few seconds before that other loot queue comes back. Here we go. Trying to keep these march slots busy. It's constant busy, right? Like it's very mechanically challenging, I would say, to execute really, really well. But yeah, you don't have to be perfect. I think that's like the really important part here. Is I know a lot of people will think like, oh man, okay, like if I just did this faster, and like, okay, yeah, it's easy to say that, right? And to some extent, like maybe it's technically true, but it's fine, right? Like, you know, we all practice and we get better. I can tell you, I didn't do this the first time I played, right? I don't think anybody did. So yeah, you keep playing it, you'll get faster and faster. As long as you understand like the core and the basics, you'll just burn right through it, like, and it'll be like nothing. And of course, like the games will get more competitive, and you'll see that everyone's like scores are getting higher each match, which is good, right? I mean, that's fun. Like that's how you know you're hanging with the big dogs, right? So if you still play really well, and as long as you're beating your previous scores, or getting similar to your previous scores, like you're chilling, like you're doing great. You know, don't worry too much about like what everybody else is doing. As long as like you're having a good time, you're smacking, you're collecting points, like you're doing awesome. So let's see, we got like a minute 30 here. Probably we'll be able to collect this and have time to send another march after. Yeah, definitely. Let's try to see how many loot crates I can get before the time ends. Once we get to like this last minute or so, that's when we start thinking, okay, let's just use our copper collection ability, because I mean it lasts a minute and there's a minute left. I mean, might as well use it. Probably could have used it a couple of other times during the match as well, but I usually don't bother with it because I don't sit in mines. But for the last minute, you might as well sit in mines, because you're not going to be able to hit a bunch of like obviously if you can hit a march in time, do it. If you can't hit a march in time, might as well have your troops sitting in a mine to get those extra like few little points, right? And so for that, might as well also trigger the extra income from sitting in mines. So yeah, I went ahead and triggered that. Maybe I can collect this one in time, this extra loot crate, we'll see. But I want to make sure my troops are at least sent to a mine to do something. Yeah, alright, let's see if we can collect this loot crate before it ends. Yeah, it's close, but we'll be alright. Alright, and this is the kind of where we just kind of sit back and chill, right? All of our march slots are out. I mean, I guess we have one returning in 10 seconds, but to be honest, I don't think it'll even get to a mine in time to collect anything. But we'll send it out, just, you know, good habits. Always trying to use our, yeah, 11 seconds, with 11 seconds left. So, yeah, it won't really do much, but it's fine. As long as we're, you know, chilling. And you can see we have a pretty healthy lead right now, 469,000, 20,000 over second place. But of course, like anybody sitting in the middle could overtake us. So, yeah, there we go, second place. Yeah, that person was a couple places below us, but had some time in the middle, as you can see. And that was all it took. To get a few extra points. But overall, really solid, really high score, and a really great loot as a result. As you can see, we easily collect all the milestone rewards, but we also get the second place rewards. And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So yeah, very nice. Yeah, any questions, let me know, and good luck in your next matches.